Hi guys. So I'm literally in the same spot as my other video, and I thought I would just try to do 2 videos at once. So I just want to touch on this a little bit because this is not like primarily what my like channel is going to be about, but I did have a few, maybe 2 or 3 comments about Appalachia and me living in Appalachia. They had figured it out, I guess. Probably because, you know, you guys were sent here from people who live in Appalachia and primarily talk about that. So I don't want to touch much on that, just because that's not really my channel thing. But I'm going to do a little video on it just because, like I said, I did have some people reach out, and like, I don't mind to do these here and there. I really don't. Like, these are fine. If you guys have questions, you can leave them in the comments, and like, maybe we can put them all together and do a video, you know? That's perfectly fine too. So, I have notes here because like I'm really scatterbrained, because we just got back, you know, and there's just a lot going on. So, I just want to stay on topic and like go over some things that I thought people would be interested in knowing, about small town living, I guess. So there's like 2 things that I was going to start out with. One's kind of obvious because like everybody's like, oh, if you live in a small town in the country, you say y'all. We do say y'all. If there's more than one person, it's y'all. It's y'all every time. And sometimes it's not even more than one person. I've heard people say it about one person, like calling somebody and it'd be y'all. But anyways, another one is shopping carts. So like at the grocery store, like you go to Walmart, Ingles, whatever, and you go to get a shopping cart. I don't even know one person who calls it a shopping cart in anywhere, except for like when we go, you know, out of town and stuff. That's the first time I really heard it was a shopping cart. We call it a buggy. I don't know why. I don't know where that came from. I don't know the purpose of that. I don't know. It's a buggy. It's just what we call it. So there's that. There's some cool like stuff in here, I think, but so another thing is like, you know, like me and my husband was talking about this the other day. My kids love to be outside. They love to run and play and get dirty and all that stuff. But kids today, including my own, love technology. They love TV. They love the internet. They love tablets and stuff like that. And I think it's okay as long as it's monitored and limited, because I do think that it takes over. Like, I've seen my kids, you know, there's moments where you're like, okay, that's too much tablet. Go play. Everybody does it, you know, and there's some days where I'm a tablet mom. I'm more of a tablet mom than I am like a get up and play mom, because I'm tired. It's been a long day. You go play your tablets. Let's be quiet. But so, you know, when I was growing up, my mother never wanted you in the house. You know, like my mother and my grandma would be like, go outside, go play, go do something. So you'd play in the woods, in the creek. You'd find ways to entertain yourself. I was an only child, so I was pretty creative on the things that I could do, you know, come up with. Like, I played house in the woods and, you know, would pretend that there was a house, and like I would build little things or find, like, I have a tree above my house, that is like grown up and comes over and then goes up. So it's like a little seat. That was my couch. I mean, you know, like we could find things, and like when my cousins would come over, we would play, and that would be even better, because then, you know, everybody would play house and we would all be like in this little family. So another thing that I did when growing up, which we still do, well, we still would do, like my grandmother is no longer here, but we all come together and we'd sit on my grandmother's porch, and we would all shuck corn and string beans. I'm assuming everybody probably knows what that is. Maybe not. So beans, when they come off, you know, they have these little things you pop at the top and you string them, and then you pop the other side and you string them, because you don't want strings in your beans. That's nasty. It's ugh. You ain't trying to floss your teeth while you're eating. But then to shuck corn, obviously, you know, corn comes in the hull, and when you pull it down, it's got all that silk, but it's kind of like hair, I guess. Like my mother calls it corn hair. But you want to get all that off, because again, you don't want that in your teeth. And some people don't. I've actually ate places where people have cooked and left that on there. And that's just, I mean, if you like it, you like it, I guess. I mean, I guess it doesn't hurt you or anything. But me, just like growing up that way, like, you know, my grandma would make you do it again and again and again and again. Like, keep handing you that same piece of corn. You couldn't go on till that same piece of corn had nothing. You had to pick them all off. And some of them, they're stuck and they're little. And, oh, man, I remember spending hours trying to pick all those off. It doesn't have to be winter to sled. So I have a big front yard, a big hill. It does not have to be snowing. There doesn't have to be snow on the ground to go sledding. You can bring that sucker out any time of the year, go right down that hill, especially in fall when all the leaves are down. It's almost slicker, I guess. Works great as a kid, and my kids roll down the yard. Sorry, I got a notification. I was trying to read it real quick. But yeah, like we used to roll down the yard. We actually used to put down, like, you can buy water slides or slip and slides and stuff, and those are fun and those are great. But do you know what makes a better slip and slide? A tarp and some dish soap, and I mean it goes. It probably it's cheaper. It's a lot cheaper. You can reuse a tarp for lots of different things, all kinds of different things, and then you just wash it off. You put that thing down, you pin it down, water slide. Let's see, in the winter time when it snows and you go outside and you gotta have like all these mittens and gloves and all this stuff, right? Yes, you do. My mother has dressed me in like 7 layers of pajamas and pants and underwear, like all this stuff, and shirts and long johns and everything and jackets, okay? So I'd be out here stiff as a board, couldn't hardly walk because I was so bundled up. But we hardly ever bought gloves, and I guess because they're probably expensive. I mean, like, I have bought some for my kids, I'm not gonna lie, I have. But I still to this day do this too. I put socks. My mother did it. Put socks on your hands and they work. And again, dual purpose, right? You wear them out, you make snowballs, play in the snow, take socks off, wash them, wear them the next day with your shoes. Let's see. Okay, so wildlife. Obviously, we have a lot of wildlife here. It is not uncommon. In fact, it's probably more common than not to be driving down the road or in your backyard, front yard, whatever, your neighbor's yard, to see wildlife. Could be deer, could be bear occasionally, could be rabbits, squirrels all the time. Squirrels get into everything. Raccoons, possums. At night at my house, almost every night you can come out right after dark and sit, and you can hear coyotes. And I don't know if any of you have ever heard coyotes, but that can literally raise the hair on your arms and the back of your neck. It is such a sound to hear. It gives you chills. I mean, it is wild. But that's not uncommon. Obviously around here, a lot of the people during hunting season and stuff, that's what they eat. They if they're lucky enough to get a bear or a hog or a deer, that's what they eat, and we all share. That was my next thing, is like sharing, like your neighbors and stuff, like your neighbors, people in the community, if they have extra, they'll share. It's not uncommon for your neighbor to share, or you to barter or trade with your neighbors. Like if I've grown a garden and I have extra tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, and I give them to you, and I don't expect anything back, like you never expect anything back, but I'm just saying, like, you can trade. Like if they have leftover deer meat or something, you can kind of get what you need from each other. So that's really great. It works out. And then sometimes you just give to give, which is also great. Another thing I was going to say is yard sales, which I'm pretty sure, also I want to say real quick, I'm a little stuffy, but so I apologize for that. But so anyways, yard sales. I'm pretty sure everywhere has yard sales. I'm fairly certain that everywhere has yard sales. However, here, yard sales are not seasonal. They're not. You could be going down the road in November and see a yard sale. I mean, if I got stuff that needs to go, it's going to go on a yard sale on my front yard today. I haven't actually personally done a yard sale in a long time. But people do. A lot of people do it around here. And we'll sidetrack real quick, because what I was going to say is, like, in the newspaper, they, you know, they put little ads in the newspaper. I don't know how many places really still use newspapers anymore. I know most everything is online, so I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure there's still a newspaper everywhere. I'm just not sure how many people, like, actually get and read the paper newspaper. So, but going back to yard sales, the biggest thing I think around here that probably is different is these places around me, like in my town, when they put stuff in their yard sale, all your neighbors are going to come. All your neighbors are going to come. And some of them might leave with nothing. They just want to see what you got. Okay? They just want to know. Like, they want to see. And they want to see if you're getting rid of what they gave you 7 years ago for Christmas. They want to know that you're still using that gravy boat. Okay? And one of them, like, so you better be careful. You know, you got Miss Jenny. She gave you this beautiful crocheted blanket, but it has this giant flower on it, and you've not really put it out much, you know, and you've had it for years, and you're like, okay, well, somebody else can use this. I'm gonna put like $1 on it, put it outside. Somebody's gonna buy it, and Miss Jenny shows up. You gonna have some questions to answer, because people are nosy. They want to know what you got. I'm a nosy person when it comes to a yard sale. I want to see what you got too. I want to know. I think that's the whole point of a yard sale, is like, what does this person have? You know, but some of the people, especially like, you know, the older neighbors, they're going to want to know what you got. The thing about Appalachia, I think, is like the small town vibes. Where we live and stuff, you cannot go to the store without seeing it. At least one person who knows you, knows your daddy, knows your grandpa. They know you somehow, and some people will sit there and track you through your family tree until they figure out who you are. Oh, are you Sue's granddaughter? No, Sue was my grandmother. So, are you Sue's granddaughter? You are? Oh, and your mom is Teresa? Like, they're going to sit there and go through all of this sometimes and stop you. People will stop you in a grocery store, and they're almost always super sweet, and, you know, and they'll be looking for something, or they'll catch you looking for something, and you're looking for, like, you're just looking at the flour, and you go to pick it up, and they're like, oh, do you know what you can make with that? And then they'll give you a whole recipe for something that you can make for that. So most of the time you didn't even know you could make with that, or it's not what you were going to make with it, but maybe now it sounds better than what you were going to make. But no, they'll stop you, and the people will just talk to you. They'll just talk to you. They just want to talk. Another thing about small towns is, and again, I can't say that this part is primarily for small towns, because I'm assuming that it's probably everywhere. You know, we do parades, we do Christmas parades, excuse me, we do Halloween things where we shut down certain parts of our town, and that's just for kids. Can't get in, can't get out. You get out and you walk. They shut it down to make it safe. So I'm assuming that's probably relatable to most places. They shut down a street, so you can still go door to door. Down this whole street, you know, still go door to door knocking, and that whole street knows to be out and ready to go. So that is that. I do enjoy small town living. I do wish that we had more pediatric options for surgeons and specialists and things like that. But the day-to-day life in a small town is great. So let me know if you guys want anything else like that also. So we'll see you in the next one.